these things in the house were irritating. And I want to ask Titi a question. A serious question, right? Were you under attack and you didn't tell us? Were you going through something you didn't tell us? Maybe there was things that happened not only from school and with your friends, but when you started working that job in Plumstead, did you start witnessing and seeing things that were strange? Like stark white light. Did you notice that the light was getting starker? Because I think you came home and you said something about Muslims walking around and acting weird in the area, and things started moving in slow motion and acting slow motion. When you moved and you was abrupt in moving, did something happen that made you jump up like that and say that you're moving? And then when you were looking for this house, yeah, they must have been beating you, because when you were saying that the papers were blowing out of your hand, don't think that was a joke. I actually think that you were being tormented and you were being taunted. I think you were being taunted when you said that you was on a train and papers were blowing out of your hand. These things that were in the house, I don't know, they follow Peju, or they will follow Dean Court. They follow families that are already in a mess. And the longer you leave it, like the longer, not the longer you leave it, but the longer that the situation doesn't improve, the more they take the piss, the more they take liberty in doing what they want to do. So my phone, I've had a phone since I was 16 years old in 2006, and my phone has never rung properly or rung consistently. My first phone was a Nokia. My second phone was I think it was a Nokia again, Motorola. I've had Samsung. I've had two phones sometimes. And I'll be with my friends. I'll be, hey, blah, 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 talkie, and then I'll go home and my phone won't ring. I'll message people about my birthday. My phone won't ring on my birthday, or my phone won't ring after my birthday. Go to a club, be talking to my friend, maybe on my 18th birthday. When I went to a club with Zizi on my 18th birthday, I was telling people beforehand and asking people beforehand to come to this club with me. And then it ended up being Zizi. It was just myself and Zizi. Should have been two other people there. Myself and Zizi. The next day, I should have had calls from people and messages from people saying, I'm so sorry I couldn't make it. Where are you? What happened to you? Did you go to the club on your birthday or not? What happened? Where are you? What's going on? I can go out with you today. If you're free to go today, you want to meet up today, blah, blah, blah. I should be getting messages from people who are my friends, who were my friends back then, calling me. And it's 2035. I'm 35 years old. And I've bought this new Sony phone, and I've had it since January. So I've had it for 9 months. My phone should be blowing off. It should be popping off with all the videos and things that I've put up, all the messages, everything that I've been sharing. And even before that, my phone, the actual SIM card should be blowing off. It seems like every phone that is in my possession doesn't behave properly. And it must be some curse. I don't know, some curse that Oladimeji did or some curse that Peju did as to why our phones don't ring off. I should be hearing Thomas's phone ring off the hook in the other room. I should be hearing the phones, even the landline phones, ringing off. Our phones don't ring. And I'm sure the same thing is happening to Omolola. I don't know if that's one of the reasons why Omolola didn't came back to London. Because I was thinking yesterday, she was sharing in Durham. She had a house to herself. She could have stayed in that house. Will you fucking cover up the fucking car scarf? Stop being a fucking idiot. She could have stayed in that house in Durham and looked for another property up north. Looked for a property around the north of England and stay somewhere cheaper. Akin or Oladimeji would have sent you the money anyway. Pedri would have sent you the money. They would have helped you find your own property anyway. You didn't need to come back down and announce to everybody that you're pregnant and start calling them mum and dad, because we were already dealing with a move and our own problems. You don't have to come back down and start showing off your pregnancy and tell everybody that you want to be mum and dad and be causing all of this extra drama. You could have just stayed up north, come down to London, stay with a friend or stay with us for one day or whatever. Tell them, I'm pregnant. I want to have the baby or don't want to have the baby, and then the decision. I don't know whether you came down because you wanted to have this drama about abortion and all this other nonsense. I don't know why. Because if you wanted to have that baby, you wanted to keep that baby, no one is stopping you from getting in the car and driving. No one was stopping you from getting in the car and driving if you wanted to have that baby. But you wanted to play this Kent white damsel fool And I don't know why. I don't know why. I should have been out of that house a long time ago. My phones are not ringing. My phone is not ringing. And it's just not my, it's not just my phone. If a signal can't get through a mobile phone, if there's a signal that cannot get through a phone, do you know what will happen? You get lots of missed calls, and lots of voicemails left if a signal can't ring your phone, if your phone is so busy. The only phone that has rung in the whole Akinola family is Oladimeji's phone. That one-to-one phone was the only phone that rung. I don't know whether he put the phone on whatever sacrifice he was doing. I don't know whether Pedro just did some sacrifice with mobile phones, that our phones don't work. I don't know how Pedro's phone is working. I don't know how Pedro's phones work, because the only person I hear her talking to is this Olarebi, or whoever she calls. This person who likes to call herself a prophetess. That's the only person who she speaks to. And then Auntie Tayo. And I have no idea why Auntie Tayo is speaking to Peju. Where's Auntie Tayo's friends? Tayo has her own friends. She was doing sexy London life for years when we were children. She's got her own friends to talk to. She's got her own exes and men to be speaking to. Why is she spending 2 hours talking to some old lady about her uncle, a breakup that happened in 2007 involving her uncle and her? Who is she at the end of the day? Hasn't she got other relatives to be speaking to as well? Wouldn't she rather be speaking to even Oladimeji's children? Her cousins than be speaking to Peju? This is what I'm talking about, that things are not adding up. This is what I'm saying, that things do not add up. The things that are happening do not add up.